All right, I have volume. Now you have volume. Say something. Oh, wait, do it again. Oh, I'm not picking you up.
On to
All right,
nipple
there we go. There we
from
go. There we go.
Countdown.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get started in
Okay.
3, 2,
Two.
and 1. All right. Well, first, AB, I gotta
I
stay
try.
quiet for I gotta stay quiet for like 5 seconds so I can add the intro, and now I'll get us in. You good?
I'm propping my jaw up. Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right, get
Actually,
that thing out of
hold
the
up.
way.
Oh shoot, my bad. That was a stone.
There you go.
Let me switch that to the speaker so I can hydrate myself when I need to. And let me disconnect from the speaker.
There you go. All right. Get started.
Gango. Gango.
Started in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as not by always my best co-host, AB. Aaron, how's it
Let's
going?
go.
So we have Aaron Barton on here today. We're here to talk about the NBA. Chris is away on vacation. I was just on vacation, so I guess I took up our vacation time, and we had to keep the ball rolling. But he'll be back Sunday,
Oh, NBA.
and we might
We
even have
might
a little
maybe
AB
even
too.
touch on a couple prospects too. So I'm here to just talk ball.
Yeah, we're talking hoops.
Um, because I'm not gonna lie, I paid this season. I will say I paid the most attention into college that I paid probably honestly since I was like K8. When I was like going to K8 school, I was a big college hoops guy. And then probably when I hit LeBron going back to Cleveland is when I became more of an NBA guy than a college guy. But this season, since as some of y'all probably know that are in that transitionary period post grad, there's not as much social stuff to do. So I've just been watching a lot of ball. So
So
I'm
why
excited
the
to talk ball.
fascination in college hoops specifically? Because I mean, this is the first time the Hornets have been decent. They might actually make the playoffs for
Not
once.
fascinate, but okay. So I think you might have misinterpreted. It's not a fascination. It's a I've like I
You've
said,
refallen in
I've
love.
been watching a lot more of college on top of what I already watch in
Oh,
NBA
okay. I
basketball. Is
got
what
you.
I'm
I
trying
got
to
you. I
say.
got you.
Like I'm still at that pantheon of I watch a ton of NBA basketball. And maybe we gotta get to this later. Some nights I don't watch as many slates because recently there have been some G League starting rosters
Tell me
for
about it.
NBA games, and that
I've been
has
at
been brutal. I mean, I get to decent teams that I enjoy watching. Like I know some people might laugh, but the Jazz and the Blazers when they were healthy, and it would be like resting the entire starting lineups for G League guys. I'm like, what the heck? I don't care about this.
so that's
But
actually
but
perfect segue, AB.
I
Let's get into
still
tanking.
I've been very into NBA basketball. Just to my point, I've been paying a little bit more attention. I've been watching a lot of Big Ten hoops. Illinois has been a lot of fun. Shout out Keaton Wagler. Been watching just a lot of hoops in general. So excuse me, Brady, please take it away.
No worries. I'm
Excited to
glad
talk
you're excited.
ball. I'm excited to talk ball.
Oh, and I'm excited to have you on. That's why we have you on for the NBA. We know that you put 100% effort into watching the NBA. I know what type of effort I see it firsthand that you watch into basketball. So I'm excited. You brought up a good point, and that's our first subject. Um, the biggest subject for the NBA heading into the All-Star game. As I was in LA with Bobby Marks, the whole conversation was tanking. It's all about tanking. And, everyone has their own solutions. Sorry, I'm distracted. A poster just fell off my room. Um, but
Sorry.
anyways, the tanking, everyone has their own solution. Everyone thinks that there's a magic pill that we can fix this to finish this. I think it's just a perfect storm of a great draft class, a lot of teams that had young players and now then traded for already injury prone vets so perfect excuse to shut them down, and a lot of weird protections on picks that have now come into fruition. So those are my factors I think that are leading into this giant tankathon. But I also think this whole conversation is a little overblown. I think we see tanking every year, and this one is just a hyper sense because of how good the draft class seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, I like your thoughts. I agree with you. Yeah, I guess just go off on a further segue there because going off of what you said specifically, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to add. It is definitely something that's being talked about. I mean, of course, I notice. Of course, I'm reading it all. I have my own solutions, what I think could work. But in reality, who knows if there's really a right answer. But yeah.
So let's get into just to give someone like, we're not going to go through all the solutions, but what would be your preferred solution here? You were talking about it a little bit
Yeah.
before we got on air, but
Um, I have a couple of routes that I think that the league realistically could go. I think that because there's one that I think is more realistic than the other, and that's that there was this guy, and I'll have to send it to you, and maybe throw it in the Wise Guys Discord for any of you guys that are interested.
oh, I was
But
going to do that at the
there,
beginning. Yeah, we have a Discord
yeah,
by the way.
yeah. You
Check
heard
the
the
link
man.
tree.
Join the Discord. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
it's just a discussion.
But
We got every team, every NFL, NBA, MLB. So, all right, keep going though.
you heard the man. But I found a story of this kid who, starting in the like early 2010s, I believe, started this system against tanking because he was frustrated that he would have to kind of like be pulling for his favorite teams to lose, and he didn't like that. So his counter was that as soon as teams in these major sports with long seasons, as soon as teams are ruled out of playoff contention, they enter into the system where it was something along the lines of an overtime win is 3 points, a win, like normal win, is two, overtime loss is one, and then loss is 0 points. So it's basically like a measure of how hard you're trying after you're ruled out of contention. And the NHL actually implemented this, and I believe they did it last season. Correct me. I don't know if you'd be able to correct me if I'm wrong. I might have to correct
I
myself in that.
yeah, I was
Like I
gonna
said
say,
in
let
the
me look it up.
Discord. But I know they implemented this and it works. And so if Adam Silver's not going to shorten the season, then I think that that could be a very plausible option. Um, my alternative, if he is willing to shorten the season, which I think is just best for everybody, shorten the
Not
season, but
happening.
technically, I agree, but shorten the regular season, but technically you don't have to necessarily shorten it as much. Emphasize the in-season tournament. I think you can move some scheduling things around and like just to emphasize it, and maybe like eventually as you keep getting international players in, make the in-season tournament even more of a USA versus world thing. But I digress. I think what you need to do is get basically change the lottery so that I believe it goes up to the 12 or maybe 13 spot now. Change it so that it caps off at five. And then the four remaining teams, you do one versus four, two versus three. You do a little nice big event in
Yeah,
Vegas
nice little
out of
round
it,
robin. Yeah.
and not even round robin, just one versus four.
Oh, did we lose AB? He is outside, so the connection might be bad. But I think that's a good idea too. You have a little tournament between the top five teams. That'll show you who's really trying and who's just trying to get that pick and trying to lose games. Because the second you put these guys against each other, that's the only time that things are going to get fixed. And have real stakes for them losing games. There's no incentive to lose games right now, or to win games right now in the NBA for teams like Washington. Um, and as you can see, AB's trying to get back in. I apologize for the technical difficulties there. Um,
Those are the best ones. And I like I don't like all the people that kind of like just sitting around talking and complain but don't share like an idea of their own, because I'm like, as of right now, I think that the best ones that we can come up with are those two. But again, I do find it a redundant conversation. But at the same time, I think we have a commissioner that rather than taking action about it, he just wants to punish teams. When in reality, it's like you have owners that they don't care about a fine, they don't care about a punishment. They're going to keep doing it as long as they see fit. It's
if
like
the fine
for
gives them a better chance to get a Cooper Flag or a Wemby, they're eating that fine every day. Even an AJ Banza, they're gonna take that fine every day.
it's just like it. I mean, and but again, you can. There are ways that you can reformat it to maintain the integrity of the game, but it's just a question of, is he willing to actually do that and spearhead that, which is, yes, lower the regular season games, make it so that teams are only competing in one portion of the regular season until they're ruled out of the playoffs, and as soon as they're ruled out of the playoffs, make it so that they're competing for something else. Like right now, it's just 82 games where it's like half the time, like eventually the games don't matter.
Yes.
So it's like, if you, and again, I'm not saying that that's definitively the answer. I'm just saying that that's one alternative that's better than what we have now.
Well, and
Um,
the bottom line, I think the bottom line is that the league is set up where the incentive to win is to win the championship, and the second you realize you can't win the championship, there is no other incentive to win.
yeah,
And I think that is the glaring issue. The glaring, I think the thing that people have the most problem with, and it's funny. I didn't like the whole All Star week. When everyone was complaining about it, like I understand the Jazz, like I get it, but like that was kind of like their direction the whole time. Um, and then I saw it firsthand last night. I went to Pacers Washington. One of the sloppiest games I've ever
yeah, it's
witnessed
terrible.
in my life. Stayed the whole time. Wizards won, but in the fourth quarter, they already had, like, no starters because everyone's injured, but no Keyshawn George, no Trey Johnson, um, no not even a Will Riley in the fourth quarter. We didn't get a minute
Like,
of
what's
Julian
out?
Champagnie. And these are young guys that should be playing, and winning games. Like, I get it, like,
Why
maybe you
is
wanna see
Trey
what Sharif
Johnson not?
Bro, like, he's a rookie, like, he should be playing. There's no reason why he should not be playing, and he played the other 3 quarters, he just didn't play the 4th, and it's like I have season tickets for the Wizards, and I'm excited to see them play the Hornets on Sunday because the Hornets are a good team, and I in any good team that comes, I'm gonna be excited to watch the good team. I am not excited at all to like the Pacers play again tonight. There's no way in hell I'm going. Um, like this is it's almost I gotta like eat my vegetables going to these games just to see some NBA basketball. And maybe it's my like people can look at me and say it's your fault. You picked the Wizards. You should know about the Wizards. And I was like, yeah, I get it, but like I thought they would play the rookies. I want to see Keyshawn George. I want to see Trey Johnson.
Yeah, you
Even
at
if they
least want to see
lose,
the players that they have playing.
yes, and like
It's not
even if
like,
they
oh, so they're
lose,
just
I want to see them develop and make mistakes. Like I want to see them make mistakes and learn from them. So it's
because when you have
frustrating.
season, because in your head, when you have season tickets 5 years from now, and they're in the playoffs, you can be like, shit. I remember the days when Trey Johnson like had his first 20-point night, or like had that nice fourth quarter and one that
Hmm.
gave us the win over the Pacers. But instead, he was just on the bench for no reason. And it's like,
Yeah,
then why are you drafting these guys if you want them to like? And again, that's just a formatting of the league thing, and to me, it goes back to the fact that Adam Silver decided to just completely, um, yeah, I can't swear. Excuse me.
you could
Um,
swear, just not. I mean, yeah, you could swear.
yeah, yeah. Excuse me. I was just gonna say Adam Silver decided to pretty much. No, I mean, like I do. I don't. I can't word it like that because I would love jobs in the future. Like an NBA job. But like Adam Silver decided to just basically screw the lottery, and like that was his solution to tanking, and that makes no sense because it's like, so your solution to tanking is saying, all right, I'm going to make the lottery an even playing field where I'm going to make the three worst teams have the same odds, and then everybody else like is staggered from there, and some teams can jump and some teams can't. It's like, but the math still works in one way, and I get it. There is those one or two teams every single year, like we saw last year, that screw it all up. But at the same time, it's like that's not a viable thing. That doesn't work long term. That doesn't add anything to the game either. All that does is tell teams, hey, guess what? If you try to lose, it won't always work out.
Would
Like,
you
why not incentivize trying to win so that if you're trying to get better while you're younger, then maybe you have to play your young guys because you're trying to win. Well, if you're the Wizards, you're like, screw it, we're out of contention, but we need Trey Johnson healthy so that we can get that number one pick. Like,
the it's it's funny too because like the one piece some of the "mystical tanks," quote unquote, that people were talking about are the Pacers, and the Pacers that they were playing last night, and they did the same thing. I mean, no
Oh,
Nimhar 4th quarter, no, not
why is Siakam
even
hurt?
Huff.
Siakam's not hurt. He
Not
just had
yeah,
the whole he played in the All-Star game,
yeah,
didn't he?
yes,
Like,
I believe so.
I think he did.
I didn't watch the All-Star game, but
And
that's
I mean, I watched it, but I don't know. And I just it's so like again, it's sad that like and he's explained it to a T. Like, he believes that it's a highlights and players league. And while I understand that sentiment, I think that that's just saying like, oh, I don't care about the fan who watches all the games. And it's like, bro, like, as somebody, like, yeah, I'm the only person in my fan that's a dedicated Hornet or family that's a dedicated Hornets fan and that watches all the games. Like, and the only other team that we do that with, since my family's a Duke basketball family, is Duke basketball. But like I think that I think that's useless if we just say that that's what college basketball should be and this is what NBA basketball should be. I'm like, no, like, I want to go to an NBA game and watch the like full 48 and be proud of it. Like, not be proud of it, but and like, be proud of my team. Be
yeah.
like, and be proud of the culture that's there, and like, and enjoy that. And that certainly was with a part of the league for a long time. But if you do continue to keep shifting away, then yeah, it is going to just be a highlights and whatever that is sport where you walk around finding teams who rest their players, but they continue to do it anyway because they want to suck. And your playoffs are awesome, and a lot of your regular season games are cool when teams are trying to be good and other teams already are good. Like, it'll be cool in some ways, but like, you have such an opportunity to make it awesome because your players are
It's
really good.
yeah, and it's funny, that's the other thing too, it's like, Bill Simmons, I bring up him because he had a 2 I'll bring him up twice. First, we can, actually, we'll get to that in a second because we can discuss that, but the first one was, he talked about how, with all this tanking, it doesn't make any sense to add 2 more teams with expansion, and I
I
think it's
agree.
kind of
Yeah, I watched that. I agree. I'd agreed
do
with
you
him.
agree with that? I kinda think it's the
Yeah.
opposite. I think if
No,
these
I
other
think
teams,
that
if all these guys have opportunities where the bench players aren't as deep, it's not as good, like, they're not gonna be like, there's not gonna they can't run out these, I guess maybe they can just run out worse and worse lineups, you know? I guess that would be the answer,
I
was that they
think
just run out
I
worse
think in
and
a
worse.
sense you've almost answered your own question without realizing it. It's like, if that truly is the case, then why is it that the Pacers lineup was so atrocious with such no names last night? Like, why
Yeah,
aren't those guys fiending to make a difference somewhere or another? And I agree, there is a lot of talent that's right on the cusps, and there's a lot of talent with on rosters that is just situationally, not going to play the same way. But in reality, that's been a thing in the league ever since it's been a thing, and it always will be a thing, in my opinion, because it's like, look at Michael Beasley. That was pure, like, not purely situational, but like, he's just one of the guys that it's like, when you look at him, it's like, it's very situational. And some of these guys, they go to a different place and they prove that it was situational, and
yeah,
others don't. But like, that the concept of because this player ended up here, they're not going to work out here. In some cases they turn around elsewhere, or they're not going to work out anywhere else because now their basketball, their like organized basketball brain is just cut off. That's always going to be a thing, because like, either guys come into the league and their impression of the way that they play the game is permanently altered because of just their perception of the way that it is, or like, it's just like, bad situations can be bad situations. I don't think that that's ever something that's going to change. And if we're going to talk about Bill Simmons specific full argument on this that I agree with, I think that it's like, right now, if you're going to try and just simply add 2 new teams, it's like, what does that solve? It's like, all you're doing is adding, like, it might have been your brother in the group chat that said it the other day. There's 2 area codes that I don't have saved in the chat. I was one of those guys. But like, yeah, I get it. That's the counter argument. It's like, oh, it's more games to gamble on, which, sure, but if you're comparing the overall value of it, it's like, when it's guys that when you still don't care about the extent of the 82 games, adding more teams into the mix is just it's not necessarily adding eyeballs, it's really just spreading them out.
Yeah, diluting it
And
a little bit. Diluting it a little bit. I know what you mean. I get the argument. That and you explained it, I think, better than Bill did. I think that was a good way to explain it. The other thing I want to mention with Bill is that he had did you hear his idea he was talking about with House, the lottery committee, like in college or like in college football where they have the playoff committee, they do
yeah,
the lottery committee and they have all the lottery teams and they judge them. I thought that was a hilarious, fantastic idea because they had a good
I
point.
didn't hear what that would be.
They're like all the conspiracy theories of the Mavericks like getting the lottery. Like that would just be real. They'd be like, "Oh, hold on. Give me one second. Sorry, some dogs yapping behind me." Um but a lottery committee I think would be a very funny idea. And I think like it would look at games like Pacers Washington and be like, both neither of these teams deserve the number one pick. Like they're both just
Yeah,
trying to jabot this. Um, and it's funny, like I think this year, like if you're looking at the teams that deserve the number one pick, like ethically, isn't it like the Grizzlies or the Pelicans, where or the I guess maybe the Kings are just I mean maybe the
it's
Kings, like those guys are just ethically bad. Like they're just ethically
It's
bad teams.
yeah, I agree. I think I think it's a team like the Kings should get AJ DeBanza. A team like the Grizzlies should get Cam Boozer. Like it's like, teams that and like granted, but that is why should have a system in place that incentivizes doing this like ethical basketball so that we don't have to just like sit here and have conversations about which teams truly deserve it, whereas they earn it the way that they should by winning basketball games. Like then it doesn't
Agreed.
have to be any kind of subjective debate. I don't know. But I think yeah, that would be really funny and that'd be great. That'd be great as like imagine you did like an hour long and a show on NBC with any of the writers, including Bill Simmons, that want to come and explain
Oh
their
yeah.
reasoning. Like that
Yeah,
would be
that would be
great.
awesome. That would be cinema, and people would watch that. I mean, that would be the
Yeah,
draft day lottery. It'd be like our explanations of why these teams deserve it, and then like
yeah,
each year you could get like you could eventually you can establish a criteria, and teams could follow the criteria and try to like eventually teams will try to game it because that's the whole point. Like that's why there's tanking is because they're trying to game the system. So
yeah.
it would
Number five,
be cool.
Charlotte Hornets. You know what? We know Keaton Wagler is in that range and he's doubted. And Charlotte, like everybody's doubted Charlotte for so long and they had a turnaround. Like
Ah,
they
you guys
don't
are making
quite
the
need number
plan.
one because they're already pretty good. But like give them number five because they deserve
We're
that.
making the
Like
plans. They're not even gonna be
give
lottery.
them a prospect that wants it. I'm like that's my favorite player in college, right? Besides my boy Cam, of course, but like Cam and Dame and Slim, those are my boys. Shout out to them. But oh that man's Keaton Wagler. Like if like I'm gonna be talking about it for the longest time leading up to the draft, leading up to rookie conversations,
Hey, you were
all of
all
it.
in on
That man's just
Khan.
gonna be nice.
Khan was your
Nice,
boy,
nice, nice.
so.
Huh?
I said Khan was your boy, so you nailed last year's. All right, let's keep going. You have mentioned the Charlotte Hornets. Well, I guess I mentioned the Charlotte Hornets. We both did. Let's talk about last night's game. You got to go.
Yeah, yeah. Um
Did you
Yeah, I
see
mean,
did
if
you
if
see a difference?
you're
Let's
saying
let's talk about
prompt
the
talk
elephant
about it, I
though.
can talk about it. Sorry?
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off after I just told you to talk about it, but I wanted to give you a little
Oh, is
prompt
it
to start off.
yeah, give
Um,
me the prompts. Give me the prompts because yeah, I was more looking in that direction.
let's start off with the elephant in the room. You got to see Katie after the Katie files have been dropped.
Yeah,
What did he
dude,
look like on the sidelines? Did he look like he was happier? Did he look like he was putting on a show? Like what's going
I'm
on?
glad you bring this up because I didn't realize that there was an opinion that Kevin Durant wasn't behind the Kevin Durant files. I didn't realize that there was an opinion that some people thought that he was like that there's
Yeah,
somebody
getting impersonated.
impersonating. I felt like everybody just accepted that he did that shit. Excuse me. But like
You're allowed to say shit.
Um, so like when one of my boys was talking about how he didn't believe it, I was really caught off guard by that. But I mean, I guess after hearing his logic, like whatever, maybe. So for me, it wasn't about the KD files. It was really just about watching Kevin Durant in
Of
general.
course.
ever since I've
First
been
time seeing
an
him?
NBA basketball fan, really honestly, like I'd probably say about 2010, 2011 is when I remember watching, like really starting to watch him with the Thunder and like as a really little kid, and I loved like how tall he was, and like just it looked like as a kid it's just like just a freak, like it's
Yeah, an
somebody that
alien.
tall is not supposed to be doing stuff like that. And like so I always love watching Kevin Durant, and I was so heartbroken when he went to Golden State. But like I even loved watching him play then. Like he's just like such a fun player to watch. And so like seeing him play live, like it was
Was
really
that your first
exactly
time?
like it was yeah. And it was an amplified version of watching him play, on the TV, just because it's like, we have a solid team, but obviously we were missing two key pieces of our starting five. So I did think we were gonna lose. But like I still thought we had, a shot as always. And the mystique of playing him, he had a 30 ball, and the mystique of playing him was really just like, I mean, anytime that we would get momentum and we started coming back in, it's like he would go to the where he always goes, either on the right elbow or a few feet behind the right block. He'll get there and he'll fade, and you just knew it. You just knew it was going. And like but that was the worst part. It was the timing of them, because it would be like we would bring it to 6, we'd bring it to 4, we would bring it back down from 8 to 6, like multiple times, and it would be the same story every time. And like that was part the thing where I was like, yeah, it sucks, like we're losing this game, whatever. But in reality, it's more of a, what, this was one out of 82. Like that was just like if I gotta watch anybody torch us, I mean, like it was annoying watching Jason Tatum torch us a few years ago, because like we sucked, and like Jason Tatum was just like having a random 40 ball or like 38 ball on us for no reason. Like I knew he had that in his bag. Like I'd seen him like before. I know, like I'd actually, fun fact, I have had a memory where I stood 5 feet away from Jason Tatum, but that's a story for whenever. But yeah, so that was really, really cool. I'll say, just like seeing like, and then it was like, no matter what we could do, send two, send Sion, send B Mill. It didn't matter. Like, and Sion's or like honestly, I'd probably say one of the hot take 10 best guard defenders in the league, in my opinion, right now. And like I like he had no idea what to do. And nobody
I mean, it's
liked
Kevin
being.
Durant.
Yeah, exactly. But like, obviously it's a tale as old as time, but I don't know. It's just really, really cool to see that.
Walk
And
me,
yeah,
walk
cool to
me
see a lot.
through walk me through one of the coolest plays I've seen in a while.
Damn it.
Um,
1% my phone, not 1%.
oh, no.
I'll make it to the charger, don't worry.
Alright, good. Can you hear me while you move or what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright. Walk me through one of the coolest plays I've seen in a long time. The cock burner block to LaMelo, no look pass, transition 3 to Brandon Miller in the corner. Um, I don't know what, maybe it was the 3rd quarter. I don't know when it was in the game. But
Yeah, I
do you
mean,
remember
that
that
was,
play? And you
of
what
course I
were
remember
you
that play. I mean, to be honest with you, like it was sick. But like to be honest with you, it was just kind of like a much needed relief, and like we got hyped for it in the moment and everything. But what you didn't see before that was that started out the game. I think it was like 2 to 3 or something. Kalkbrenner gets the ball, and yeah, it was bad. He goes up, and Jabari Smith sends this man back to Mercury, bro. Like, 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 like kills him and buries him, bro. Like it was rough, and like we're sitting here like, oh my gosh, like. He's like Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7'2", 280 pounds. That should not be happening. And then, like almost like clockwork, like the next time down, Ryan Kalkbrenner again goes up, and this time I think this time it was KD that got the block. Even, dude, it was disgusting. It was like almost as good as the Jabari Smith one. And we're sitting here like, oh my gosh, it's going to be that kind of game. And then when he got that, it was like, oh, that was a sweet highlight play. And like we were like, we needed the three, because we weren't like, we hadn't really scored much at that point. And yeah, it gave us some nice momentum. And yeah, it was really cool. It was fun for the fans that we almost won that But yeah, sucks that we couldn't end up doing it, but it shows like, yeah, I mean, the metrics behind our games when our starting lineup plays is ridiculous. And yeah, not having Moose and Miles definitely is slash was tough, and I'm kind of frustrated with this Kobe White injury timeline being much more ambiguous than it was intended on, I think. But that's okay. Yeah, that's sorry. That was a much more long-winded answer, but
No,
yeah,
I
I
loved
mean,
it.
the play was sweet. The game was sweet. But yeah, that's what like the thing about highlights and the thing about how we need to not stay a highlight league because there's more of a story that came behind that. And like again, like that for Hornets fans, it was much more than just a highlight. It was like all right, we can kind of settle down now, like because like they had just gotten like 3 or 4 highlight plays on us, like 3 on defense, 1 on offense, something like that. We needed something, and then yeah, we got the play on that play on both ends was cool. We were excited about that.
All right, I got two things about this game specifically that I want to ask. The first one I'm going to ask is, do you feel that there's been a momentum switch in the arena of the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah, definitely. I think that while like, don't get me wrong, and there's clearly like always the NBA things of like some fans just like leave like when they shouldn't like
Or they come
some
in at like
always
halftime or the third quarter or something?
Sure, sure. Like I think that as somebody that has gone to games, throughout my life, it like, I haven't, it's like I hope that there does become a more organic Hornets culture aspect to it. For right now, what I'll say is that it comes with being good.
Hmm.
When you're good, people care more. And of like it even was the last night was even the epitome of it. I mean, like I was one of the only people screaming defense and everything until like, it's coming to the fourth quarter and we bring it back to a 4-point game and we're getting a nice defensive stop. Then everybody's like screaming defense or get a nice play on the other end. Then everybody's screaming to get a defensive stop. But it's so it's kind of it directly correlates with winning. And
Yes.
but I'm okay with that. And like, hey, that to me is just says that the team's playing better and people are more invested in the because the team's playing better. I mean, there's always been examples of the team plays better and people still don't care as much, and that would suck. So I guess what I'm glad that it's proving is that there are basketball fans in Charlotte. There's lots of them, and I think that North Carolina, in my opinion, is the best basketball state. And I think that if the Hornets were good, we would just further reinforce that because right now it's just kind of like the best basketball state because of its history. But it's like, man, like if our NBA team was really really good too, then we could actually talk about that in real terms because before the Hornets relocated to and sold the team and relocated to New Orleans, they actually had the highest attendance of any team in the league. You can look that up, I promise you. There's always been a demand in Charlotte. So I definitely think that it's coming back. Not only is it coming back, it already is back, and I think that it also really helps with the way that the media's putting narratives behind it. I mean, there's already the we need a Detroit Charlotte playoff series narrative. Like there's already shows talking about, do you stamp the Hornets in the playoffs or play in, making the playoffs from the play in? Like I saw like Perkins and a couple other people talking about that the other day. So yeah, I mean, I love it because I've been saying for years, I mean, you know me, I've been saying for years, if the
If
Hornets
you
were
were
healthy, we'd
healthy.
be solid.
Yep.
And now what do you know? I mean, granted, like I had to say to my buddy Isaac, who was there with me, shout out my buddy Isaac Black. He like a huge part of it also is adding Khan. I mean, he was our best player when before B Mill came in, and now B Mill has been amazing. You really can't really pick a best player right now because all three of the our best guys have made huge impacts on the team, huge impacts. But um, I definitely, yeah. Sorry, go. It's your podcast. You gotta take it away.
Keep
But
going,
yeah.
man. Hey, I'm asking you these questions for a reason. All right. Last question for the Hornets, Houston game. and it's more of a Houston specific question. You got to see Amen Thompson in person last night. There's been a lot of rumors recently that he is going to get a super max extension, rookie max extension of $252 million or somewhere around that range. Um, I just wanted to see your thoughts on that potential contract, and of course, we want everyone to get as much money as they could possibly get, but as a player standpoint, as a value to compared to his peers standpoint, um, I think that's a little bit high. I think that's a little bit, and but I wanted to see your thoughts. You got to see him yesterday live.
I mean, of course I agree with you, but I think that like, gosh, I mean, of course there's the part of me that like, as soon as you say the number, like wants to just bust out laughing.
Right.
But when like if like here's how I'll respond to that. If I were a GM, I would never personally do that. However, the name of the game is investing. And basically by investing that much money in this kid, what you're saying is that he's 22 years old and he's already one of the five best perimeter defenders in the league. Objectively, I feel like you can definitely prove that by just throwing some numbers on it. He's and he hasn't even gotten a jumper yet.
I think that's
Um,
the thing. You're betting on a jumper, right? That would be it. I mean, because everything else you love about him, and who doesn't? Like objectively, as you said, there's a lot to love.
right. It's just like it's hard. It's really hard because it's like, yes, you can say, well, if this guy gets a jumper, he is probably the best point guard. No, one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard in the league. But it's
Some
like
things would have to happen, but
It's
yeah, I know
like
what you
it's
mean.
like it's like it feels like, and maybe it's not, but it feels like just like if I were to say if Giannis had a bag like Kawhi, he would be the greatest player of all time. Like obviously, but
Yeah,
but saying that is very different from that taking place. There would be a lot that would have to go into that. And I think that, there's like here's the thing. Like Tari Eason, for example, was a great catch and shooter now. Does it look good? No. Is he really that good of a shooter objectively? No. But is he good at something specific shooting wise? Yes. I haven't seen anything that Amen Thompson is good at specifically shooting wise. And for me, I like there's this guy. I gosh, I'm mad, and now it's the second time that I don't remember his name, but he was on the Bill Simmons. No, he was on the Ryan Russillo show. They were doing his little mailbag thing, and he said there was a point earlier in the season where he would have, if you're just saying like which player would you have in a hypothetical redraft, he would have a Men Thompson over Cooper Flag, and that to me is a war criminal like thing to say. Um, I don't know. I just for me I don't know. Like look, like Drew. Shout out Drew Evans. I haven't but it's been a minute since I've been able to catch up with him. I hope to soon. He's a huge Thompson twin guy and he knows basketball really well. So I know that there's a lot of people that like are smart basketball fans that are like high on the Thompson train. And so I'm not discrediting that take, but I'm just saying I understand the need for the contract. I understand why you do it. I understand why maybe half the GMs in the league would. I just personally, if it was me signing the check, I wouldn't do it just because I'm the GM that's
you're betting on. I feel like it's a lot. It's a big bet. It's a big parlay that you're
I
betting
mean
on.
I'm the GM that's I wouldn't draft Aaron Peterson top three. Um like that's just me. And so again, I'm on the extremes of the safe side, but I also that's how I'm looking at like the Hornets and I'm like that's how you make winning basketball. You get guys that care about basketball and eventually it'll fall into place. What do you know? Um, so I don't know, and I'm not questioning. I'm not saying that related to Amen Thompson. I think that Amen Thompson probably cares about basketball, and he again, he's ridiculously. I don't know. He has all the talent in the world. He's gotten better at a lot of things, but it feels to me like he came into the league good at some things, bad at others, and now it's what, year 3 for him,
Yeah.
and he's great at some things and he's still bad at other things. That's how I see it right now. I think he's like came in the league a good defender on all 3 levels. Now he's a great defender on all 3 levels. I think he came in the league a good interior scorer. Now he's a great interior scorer. Um, I think that he came in the league a solid rebounder. I think he's a little bit better of a rebounder now. Same thing with being a playmaker. Like he's a solid playmaker. Still needs work, but he's a solid playmaker for like a point forward kind of guy. But again, the all the things that were question marks 3 years ago or whenever it was are still question marks now. And that's why I am as hesitant as I am. Like if I was like last night, we gave him the Ben Simmons treatment, and the one time that he even took a three, it looked bad, and the result was even worse. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, look, basketball's subjective. It's hard, and that's the struggle with it, and that's what people who sign these checks, the 250 million, if he does get that, they're going to be betting on him to improve these areas, and either he will or he won't, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But all right, let's get into our top five NBA teams. AB, you ready for that?
Overall,
Yeah, just overall for this season so far.
gotcha,
Um, we're gonna start at five, go up. You ready?
gotcha. Do you want me to go first then?
Um,
Because
sure.
I yeah,
You're the
I need
guest.
I need to think for a second probably.
Oh, okay, then
Um,
let me go first then. I'll go first then. Yeah,
sure.
I got my team. I got the Denver Nuggets. They've struggled a bit when Jokic has been out. He's been out for like 28 games, 25 games, something like that. He's finally back. They had a rough loss last night to the Clippers, a team that I don't think will be in our top five teams, but is a team that I definitely want to highlight before we end the pod because you already started talking about it before the pod, and I told you to be quiet because I love the Clippers and I do want to talk about them. Um, the Nuggets lost to Clippers last night. They are still 35-21. They still have the the core of Murray and Jokic, who have of course won the championship. I'm not giving up on Cam Johnson. Like I do think that he will be a valuable player at some point for the Nuggets this season. He needs to get healthy again as well. I think Bruce Brown's coming into his own. Um, if they can get Cam Johnson to get just solid minutes, 15 minutes, like a solid 15 minutes per game off the bench. I do think that that'll be very important in the playoffs. Really add to their depth, which is important for them right now. And I mean Cam Johnson did play last night as well, and he just needs to he hasn't been in like ever since game one. He's been out of the rhythm. Basically, it feels like he hasn't been connected with this team yet. And with how good of a playmaker that Jokic is. I just think that in the playoffs, you're going to have one of the nights where it's Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., Cam Johnson. One of those guys is going to go off, or Christian Brown even. One of those four guys is going to go off. Hopefully every night in the playoffs. With one of the four, of course, not all four are going to go off every night. Um, but that's a pretty good pick of the litter for guys that Jokic can get set up and get some threes on. So I like the Nuggets at number five. I don't think they could be any lower. Like I know that there's been some people that have been looking down on them. It's just I trust the infrastructure that's already there. The winning infrastructure that's already there.
So repeat your top five.
Oh no, I was just doing five. Just Nuggets. Nuggets
That
at
was
five.
just number five.
Yeah.
All right, my number. Are we gonna go back and forth, or you want to just do your list and then I do mine?
No, we'll go back and forth. So just give me your five. Your number five, not your five. Your number five.
And I guess I'll give my explanation as well.
Yeah.
All right, then I got the Celtics. Um,
I didn't have them on my list. I didn't want to be biased. Give me.
I got the Celtics. I really want to put them higher, but the only thing that I don't put them high, like what makes me definitively put them in the top 5 is because I love their depth and I love the Vucevic trade. I think we saw it. I mean, granted, Steph didn't play last night, but last night was just beautiful basketball. I loved watching it, and I love watching the Celtics play in general. I loved watching them when they had Tatum. I think that a lot of the time under Ime, it was a little bit better basketball than it was under Missoula. I think that the basketball has been the best eye test wise that it's ever been under Missoula. Without Tatum, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to hate on Tatum. He's one of my favorite players. I think that he'll get reintegrated well because I trust Missoula as a coach. I think he's a great coach. But I have him at 5 just because I think that um, no matter how high of metrics Missoula can coach them to in the regular season. I think that in the postseason, star power and depth eventually just come too big of an issue. And I think that the other team that I have in the East above them right now, which is pretty obvious. When like by the time I get to them, I mean you know who it is, but like I don't want to say now just to reveal where they are. I'll get to it then. Um, I just think that they don't have the firepower to compete with that team 1 through 9, and then in the playoffs in the NBA, it truly is a 1 through 9 game at least, and so that's why I have them there. But I think that there's no way that you can't have them in the top 5 because I mean, unless you just like are going like 4 teams in the West and 1 in the East, well, like in that case, maybe. But like, I mean, you just there's no. I feel like there's no valid argument you can make for the Knicks because yeah, you can say that the Knicks. Like you can try to say maybe the playoffs are more of a team game. Like I was saying, 1 through 10 they're better, sure. But they like that game last night. Like Cade, sure you can say Cade went off, but so did Brunson and Towns, and they lost by almost 20. Like I don't know. To me, I just trust the Celtics against the Pistons. I mean, well, whatever I said, but cats at the fucking wow, excuse me, cats at the bag. But like we all knew that. But I trust the Celtics to at least bring it to 6 because of how good a basketball they play. That's my overall. Sorry, yeah, that was probably a lot more of in depth than
No,
needed, but
hey, I think it's a um thing that a lot of people can look at a lot of different ways. From the people that I've been uh, talking to, it seems like, or from hearing from, it seems like there's a lot of people who think that there's the Tatum possibility just seems way too unrealistic, and that the Tatum possibility just seems all right. Sounds good, and that
I hear
the
you, but
and that the Tatum possibility just seems way too unrealistic, and that to bring him in right before the playoffs seems like it could be detrimental to how the team's been playing right now, which is all fair. I mean they're the number 3 seed right now, or 2 seed in the East right now, and they're playing their hearts out every night. It seems like, and they have just these guys that have been sitting on the bench for so many playoff runs of Jordan Walsh is the one that comes to mind the most, but Shireman and Hugo, not for the runs, but it's been on the bench this year, and these guys have been coming in and giving some really good minutes and really really hard nosed defense and a lot of energy. And of course they have their shooters in Pritchard and Hauser, and Jalen Brown can get 30 any night. He got a triple double last night. It seemed like with ease. Um, they just they and now with Vucevic, they have that offensive center that can really help them out, and they've used Kata to a really good defensive anchor on the offensive side or on the defensive side. I I did pick the Knicks as 4. I put the Knicks as 4, and I think because of the
wow.
I and I know it sounds like it's the way that you just described it makes me sound like a fool right saying it right afterwards. But the reason why I did so is because this group has now been together for some of the playoff like they've had wars together, it seems like, for the past 2 seasons at least. And they should be able to hopefully like they have the depth now. I think they completely have the depth that they didn't have the last couple years. Um they're built to win more than the Celtics are built to win currently right now. Um, in the way of philosophy of roster construction, not even just players and paper, but the philosophy of roster construction. The Knicks are here to win. The Celtics are technically here to shave cap and try to stay afloat. And so that's kind of the mentality of the teams of why I flopped them. But the Celtics, of course, are always going to want to win in the playoffs. They're never going to want to tank. They've never ever tried to tank. They haven't this whole season. Um, and they're going to be a hard out. They very well might beat the Knicks in the playoffs. I could definitely see that happening. I didn't want to put in bias. I didn't want anyone to think I had bias. And I do think the Knicks are a good team, and I think that they have just as good as a shot to get out of the East as the Celtics do.
I just took a look at it. I don't even know if I have the Knicks in my top 5 teams in the East. I'm not gonna lie.
You have the Cavs over
Um,
them.
I mean, I like the Cavs more than them right now. I love the Cavs way more than I like the Knicks. I mean, again, like if you're watching a lot of these slates, I just for me, I personally don't know like how you trust them other than I get that your take is mainly just built on optimism through adversity, which sure, maybe there's something to that. I just don't think that there's that much to that because I think that like you have to trust what you watch this season and you have to trust the other teams as well. And it's like, dude, they lose a lot of games that they should win,
I
and
agree.
though they lose a lot of statement games too,
Yep.
and to me, I'm just like, yeah, maybe you flip the switch, and hey, I'll hit the Discord if I'll still be watching, and maybe in a month I'll be wrong. I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with that. Like I want it. There's a lot of like last night I had I make I put a little dollar bill on picking the winners of every night. And I had the Knicks winning last night. I trusted it. And they lost a game that I think that you should beat the Pistons at home
How Duran.
when like no, yeah, no Duran, no Stewart. Like they're giving B-ball Paul so many minutes, and
And
they're
he's
still
playing
winning that
well.
game.
He's blocking cat and
Like,
stuff.
so I don't know.
I agree with you.
I agree you're at.
My
Then
final
this
my
this
final
is
opinion.
I'm so excited for 4 through 1 then because yeah, give that after. But I think that we're gonna be really off base on this, which I like. It makes the discussion way better.
Let me get one last little final Knicks thing. Um, Mine is that if they don't end the top four team, it's an objective failure for the season, correct? Like I mean, this is they built this team to be a top four team. Like this is they don't have any picks, they don't have any outs, they don't have any free agent moves. This is it. That's kind of part of my basis here is that this is it. They already did the coaching
More
change. They already did the the roster like to the fringes. So they have to try to be a top four team, and if they're not in the conference finals, it's a failure of the season.
More importantly, it puts doubt on 2 groups. First of which, Leon Rose. It puts, I mean, and it's but there's obviously less necessary doubt there because he's simply the owner. There's not really anything you can do. But it kind of just it goes to for people to question his competence because it's like, well, you get rid of the guy who got you pretty freaking far, and you end up doing worse.
Yeah.
And you have an objectively better roster.
Hmm.
There's obviously a huge mark there, and then the other group is obviously the whole Brunson Towns core. It's the whole core of um, does this does this work?
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Is
looking to
it
split
worth
this
it
up
or
afterwards, I think.
yeah, exactly. It's like does this work or do we just trade Brunson, trade Towns, and just get ahead of the rebuild so that in 5 years we have this super fun, exciting team built around young guys in New York like we were hoping for a while ago. Like I don't know, but that's the questions that, to your point, are going to start being asked if there's another disappointing season.
All right, go with your number four.
You don't want to go first since you went first last time, or you?
I just picked the Knicks. Four.
Oh, facts. You're right. We just. Oh, you should. Yeah. Number 4. Oh, I love this. I got the Thunder
Oh wow. Okay. Why? But tell me why four and not higher.
simply because of the teams that I have over them. the teams that I have at 2 and 3, I'll go ahead and tell you now are interchangeable. I put a little arrow, or yeah, a little squiggly arrow
I
on
got you.
both sides of them, just because I truly think that they're not in the same conference. I'm just like I don't I think I could wake up and decide I like one more than the other at any random point. Yeah, I don't like the Thunder as much as I did last year. And but I won't get too much into it because it kind of a lot of it requires me to talk about the teams that I have above them. So what I will say is, I specifically have them low because I don't trust their ability to win games without key players compared to the teams that I have above them. I think the playoffs are where that becomes maybe the most important trait in contenders, especially. And like they have like without Hartenstein, they're nowhere near the same team. Like that's when like simply I like the night where the Hornets beat them by 30, I was like, man, we have a chance tonight. And I said that knowing because I'm like they're a different team when Hartenstein's not there. And I think it was like J Dub was out too, but it's like still they're still have most of their guys, they're still a Thunder. It's like, but they're again when they don't have one or two important guys, they're not the same team. And it's impressive because, or it's funny, it's impressive to be able, or that's even a stat to or point to make because of how deep they are. That shouldn't be a thing, but I don't know. It's a weakness that I've noticed that other teams don't have nearly as much that I'm excited to get into, especially through some of the basketball that I watched over the last month. So, you take it away and go for number three, or say whatever else you have that are thinking off of that.
Well, I'll talk about the Thunder later. But I am gonna go with number 3. I'm gonna go with the Detroit Pistons, who we've talked a good amount about. Cade Cunningham went berserk last night. He's gone berserk multiple nights on on a random Monday and a random Wednesday. Just really giving us NBA fans something juicy to watch during the slate. This Detroit team's fun. I mean, it's getting close to the bad boy Pistons again. Like they are just out for blood. They're out to make defense hard and out to make your scoring hard. And they have a little bit of a shooting lull at points. Um, but Cade's playmaking, Duran and Cade as a duo is fantastic. And they're just every team that plays them in the playoffs is gonna have trouble uh scoring the basketball. And it's a major key to the game. If they can get a couple good shots out of Duncan Robinson in the playoffs, um, Duncan Robinson could be what determines their run to the playoffs. I'm not even lying. It could be their finals run. It could be make or break off a Duncan Robinson three in a game 7 or in a game 5. That's super important for the Pistons, and I that's what scares me about the Pistons. It's why I have them at 3. And I also think in a just a general sense that um, I don't have an East team higher than 3, and that's just kind of off principle.
I'll say, yeah, I mean, the Pistons are my team that I had at 2, but like I said, my 2, 3, I put as interchangeable. So, fair enough. I agree with all your reasoning, and I just want to add that I think that they're so dangerous because it's not just Duncan Robinson. It could be Danis Jenkins. It could be one of about like 4 or 5 different guys that could just pop out and be the reason that be the shot or the moment that takes them to the finals. And I think that they right now are what the Thunder were last season, and of the East anyway. And I think that they're just they have so much talent, and people aren't talking about it because they don't have all of the draft picks and names around it, but like they have so much talent. They are so deep. And it feels like every guy, anytime there's a next man up scenario, they always come through. Like they
Agreed.
always they're it's like they're
Like
never
B-Ball
in
Paul
need of
last yesterday.
exactly like they're never in need of somebody to step up because somebody's always stepping up. And I don't know, bro. I definitely think that that's the Pistons. They might win it all. They're very dangerous. Yeah.
For flow reasons, can that just be your 3 since you had them interchangeable anyways?
Yeah, like I said, well, no, like I told you, I had the Nuggets at 3. But yeah, they're my 3.
Oh,
For
okay, alright, well, we already talked about the Nuggets. Give your quick little thing on the Nuggets, and then I guess I'll do
yeah, yeah.
2,
Yeah, yeah,
2
yeah.
and then
You can just
1.
yeah, like the reason like I have the Nuggets at 3, I just really just because similar to the Pistons, when Jokic was out, they won a ridiculous amount of games, especially against teams that they just shouldn't have beaten. I was watching a lot of them myself, and Jalen Pickett was ridiculous.
He is really
Spencer
coming to his own.
Jones, yeah, Spencer Jones has been awesome. Jamal
Updated his
Murray
LinkedIn
obviously
after
is an
his
all
two-way.
star now. Yeah, I mean, having Jonas Valanciunas has been huge, and Zeke Naji has been big, and just like all of their guys just step up, and it feels like this is the best all around Nuggets team that we've seen. It feels like this is the deepest one, and we might even be having looking at the best version of Jokic that we've seen too. So I don't know. I think this is another moment where it's like if they're gonna win, this is definitely a year that they could. So I believe in them much more. I trust them and believe in them um, more than anybody else in their conference. Though, yeah, I'll say that.
So, that leaves my number 2 is the Thunder, and, the only note I had to add besides what you said with the parity of between them having players and not having players is that their shooting was the main issue of them last year, and it's not gotten better. They did get, um, Jared McCain off the bench to get some shooting help. I do think that that was a fantastic deal. I think that he's a fantastic player. I know you love him. He's a Duke guy. So the Jared McCain pickup I think will be huge. I don't know if it'll result in a playoff moment this year, maybe more of a future moment, but I do think that they're number 2 because of what I'm guessing is our both our number 1 unless you're throwing the Timberwolves at me, but I think it's the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, like. And there's really no rocket science to it. I mean, don't get me wrong; they might not be ready. They're just extremely deep. They have great vets. They have great young guys. They have the best star. I think that I mean, my opinion, Wemby, when like if we were just talking all around ability, like overall right now, he's probably the best player in the league. Um, it's not a long explanation. We thought coming into the year that the Thunder were the best team, and they've beat them 3 times.
Yeah,
Uh,
and healthy and not healthy, like, it doesn't matter. They beat him 3
yeah,
times, and,
yeah,
they they brought it in the cup. They did end up losing the cup, but they brought it to the Thunder in the cup, their most important competition. They kinda threw a haymaker at him, kinda punched him in the mouth, and, they're just incredible, and as you said, they're a good mix of young talent, and, Dylan Harper is one of the fastest players I've ever seen on the court, and he's playing with De'Aaron Fox, who is one of the fastest players I've ever seen on the court. Um, Castle he might be the main point guard too out of those 3, and, Fox is deferring and playing off ball with Castle, and, it's working out, like, they're working out. Um, the second that they all like, they are clicking right now, but the second they all are hitting their stride and click, it's gonna be something scary. And then, like, even for this is more of a this year kinda thing, but, like, you have a Harrison Barnes to help you in the playoffs, to hit a big 3, to play some good defense. You have a Luke Cornett who's been there. Um, you have some veterans that are here to help out the young guys, and they're just a well-built team. And if you like Wemby, if Wemby's in your city, spend the money to go and watch him. For where you're sitting, just be in the building. It's worth it. I've seen him 3 times now, and it doesn't get old. Um, it's just it's something different, and it's something that we're gonna be like, this is the types of players that, like, yeah, I'm gonna be, telling my kids about this Jalen Brown season and, this Tatum career so far, but, like, I'm gonna be telling my kid about literally every Wemby game. I'll be like, "This game, yeah, he just played 20 minutes and scored 40 and then benched himself, and the team won by 30," and then so, like, it'll just be this is some stuff of legend that we're watching, and
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you covered it.
Well, I'm glad. It's funny. We had some disparity, but we ended up the same at the top. Um,
Yeah.
before we head out, before we go, I got a fun little activity for us. I got a pack, a little tops 25, 26 Cooper Flag pack. I just pulled one earlier today. Got me the inspiration because I pulled a jersey of Thomas Schwarber, the rookie from OKC. Um, so hopefully he gets his opportunity at some point, so that card can go up in value. But AB, let's see if you don't mind, let's see if we get anything cool.
Why not?
All right, let's see what we got first. All right, we got Jonathan Mogbo. Good old love Jonathan Mogbo. Um, Quentin Post. Who doesn't love Quentin Post?
Facts.
Ron Holland, a Detroit guy
Uh-huh.
that we could see step up.
Yep.
Um, Ronnie. That's a good pull right there. Um, we got uh looks like Jonathan Klingon and uh Kamari Kamara. We
Okay.
got Andrew Nimhard,
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan,
Okay.
Jaden Ivey. That's bad card, Jaden Ivey. 8-bit baller Tyler Hero. That's kind of cool. And then big box baller Yegor Demon rookie card. That's probably the best thing in the pack. Um, a little Magic Johnson, a little Peyton Watson, Miles Bridges, and Noah Penda.
There you
Pretty mid
go.
pack. Pretty mid pack. I'm not gonna lie. Well, thank you all for listening. AB, thanks for coming on. We are always happy to have you talk some ball, and we'll have to have you on, of course, throughout the NBA season and going into the playoffs. Anything you want to plug, AB? Anything you got going on?
Hey, not at the moment, but I'm excited to stay involved with the community. Hopefully, I can be back talking ball again soon, and if it comes to it, if I get back into the content space, I'll be sure to let you all know.
Sounds fantastic, AB. Thank you again. And as you've been mentioning graciously, because I always forget to plug stuff of my own, join the Discord. It's in our Instagram bio, in the link tree. I might have a post about it soon. I don't know how. I mean, like, I want everyone to join. I want it to be packed. I want everyone to be talking about their specific team or other people's teams or, um, help us. It's not about specifically the pod itself. It's just about a community of people who like to talk ball. So, whether it's, baseball, football, or basketball. So, um, thank you all for listening. We'll see everyone. I think Monday is what we're eyeing up. So, thank you all, and we'll see everyone.
Peace.
AB, that was fun.
Yes, sir.
Always fun.
Indeed.
Ugh, I gotta go. I gotta upload this, and I'm going to Baltimore to see Lambo.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think Ford's
Um,
coming up for the first time to Baltimore too. He never comes to Baltimore.
Damn.
Yeah, and
How
I
far?
think it's about 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Nah, not bad at all. The drive home is always the bad part. Just like, oh, in the morning.
Yeah. How often do you get to chill with Lambo?
Try to go up like every once a month or every 2 months, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. We like to have a nice night out.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, AB, I do have to run to the bathroom though, so I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Peace out, yo.
I'll let you know when it's up, and
Word.
thank you again for doing this. I love talking ball
Course.
with you.
Yes, sir. It's a great time as always.
Always. All right, AB. I'll text you soon and talk to you later.
Gotcha. Sounds good, brother.
See you, boss. Have a good one.
Peace. Will do.
Thanks you. See you.
would stop by the Rapple Scrapple plant and buy crates of it wholesale. He's getting wholesale scrapple. We had no AC in this station wagon, and he'd get crates of the guts. The guts. It was gore. It was awful. It was in between my brother and I. He would pull into the plant. I was a kid. I'd start crying. Like, oh no, no! And the stink, dude. The last 45 minutes of the trip, it was just like it was like having a picnic near a mass grave. Careful, I don't want to knock mine out. I take that. He might take. I don't know. Give it a little juice. No, 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 no. Let's bring it one round. Come on! I'm back. What are you doing? I'm living in luxury. I'm standing in sandwich. All right, aside from you're under arrest. Arrest. I don't feel like I'm under arrest. Am I being angry? Nah, not a bit. Not even a little bit. Turn around and put your hand behind your back. I don't think so. Your mistake is thinking you got a goddamn choice of choice. And your mistake here. Thinking you're a wrong place. This is things